Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to another Oxygen tutorial video. My name is Jonathan and today I'm going to teach you how to build a website from the ground up using Oxygen and integrate the plugin LearnDash to create a fully functional learning management system. In this particular case, our site is going to be teaching someone how to play guitar like a professional, and we're going to charge $149 for someone to take this course. So this could be used to package and sell your own online course. It could be used for a school or university or really any kind of online course that needs to have some kind of lesson, a topic, include maybe some quizzes at the end, and be able to charge money for that course if you'd like to. So what we're going to do is start off by showing you exactly what the site is going to look like when we're done, and then we're going to go step by step through the entire process, and by the end of this video you'll have a fully functioning LMS site of your own. Just briefly, my name is Jonathan and I have a channel called Permaslug. You'll find all kinds of topics there related to WordPress website design and freelancing, so I'll hope to see you guys there, but let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. So this is what the website is going to look like once we've designed it in Oxygen and set up our course using LearnDash. So let me show you how LearnDash functions and what you can expect when you're setting up a course. So this course is titled Learn to Play Guitar Like the Pros. We're just focusing on one particular course for this tutorial, and it shows you your course status right off the top, which in this case is not started. This automatically updates. Everything that you see in this whole section right here is all added using the WP content box. So any headings or images, text that you want to fill in, this gives you a really good insight into what you're going to be doing in this particular course from a user perspective. And then there's also the option which is course materials. You can tell people what they need to be prepared for, maybe pen and paper. In this case, of course, you need to have a guitar to go through this tutorial. And then from the course content, underneath that, you have each lesson. Each lesson contains a series of topics, and they can be as plentiful as you like. In this particular case, we have just a couple set up. And what you can do is click inside the topic. You can see the content inside the course. Once you've decided that you're ready to move on, you click Mark Complete, and it takes you to the next topic in the progression. So LearnDash makes it really easy to navigate through these courses. The hierarchical flow is kind of really easy to navigate, and it makes it easy not only to set up, but also from a user perspective to navigate back and forth between different lessons and different topics. So overall, it might be a little bit daunting once we switch over to the admin side, once you see how many options exist in LearnDash, but once you sort of understand the correlation of how everything fits together, it's not hard at all. So let's go ahead and get into the backend dashboard. So this site we're building from the ground up. At this point, I only have my media items, the photos uploaded that we're going to use for the site, and then also the plugins that are going to be necessary for this particular tutorial. So I am running WordPress 5.03, and so I have the classic editor installed, Contact Form 7, LearnDash LMS, the base plugin, and then also the Stripe integration, which is actually free, very nice, and then Oxygen 2.12. So really what we're going to do to start off with is go right into LearnDash, and as you can see, this probably makes more sense now how these courses, lessons, and topics all kind of correlate to one another. So your course is effectively your top level item. Underneath that, you have all of the lessons, and then you have all of the topics for each lesson. So what we're going to do is go ahead and just start by adding a course, and like I said, this is going to be titled Learn to Play Guitar Like the Pros. And once again, anything that you put in this WP content box is going to appear underneath the title and right below that item that I showed you that said course progress. So let me just copy in some example text here, and then we're going to scroll down to the LearnDash course builder. So this function here is really powerful, and it actually is probably the best way to set up the rest of the flow underneath this course. What you can do is kind of add everything in bulk, and then you can go edit the content of each lesson and each topic from their respective screens over here. So I'm going to go ahead and add in a couple of lessons. We're going to do amplifiers, and then go ahead and add a couple of these actually to make it really easy. And then let's do frets, and then reading music, and our final one is going to be tuning. And from here, what you can do is to get this lesson applied to this course, you can't just leave it here. What you have to do is actually take the lesson itself and drag it over to this screen here, and then do the same thing for all of the lessons that you want to be included in this course, you can change how they appear in the list. So how you have them ordered in this screen right here is how they're going to be ordered on the front end. Then moving down to each topic, once again, a topic is underneath a lesson. So some of the topics are going to be, like treble and bass clef. I'll just do this as an example. And then what you're going to need to do is find what lesson you want it to be included underneath. Go ahead and expand that item and then drag it into that color-coded section there. So you can see they all kind of correlate. If I expand quizzes, that has that yellow box there, and that's where it could fit in this particular section. Again, if I expand frets, then you can see the red section here is for your topics, and then that yellow section is going to be for your quizzes. So I'm going to go ahead and add in the rest of the topics for this particular one, and then arrange them, and we'll move on from there. Now, the next thing I wanted to do was add a quiz to the very end of this course. So you can have individual quizzes that fall under each lesson. You can see it says drop lesson quizzes here, but I want one that's going to be a global quiz at the very end. So this quiz is going to be summarizing what you've learned. And then once again, I'm just going to take that and drag it over to the global quizzes section, and then there you're done. So what we're going to do now is scroll down to the course materials. I think I said you just need a guitar, that's all, earlier. And I want my course type to be buy now because we're going to configure some payment options later on. And this course is going to be $149. So now we have everything arranged, so let's go ahead and click on update, and then what we're going to find is that will automatically arrange all of our lessons and topics in their respective places based on the arrangement that we set on this right-hand course builder. So let me show you what I mean specifically. Underneath lessons, what you'll find is that they're all attached to the correct course, and then under each topic, they're all going to be applied to the correct lesson as well. So what we're going to do here is go into a lesson and actually edit the content inside of this lesson, and you can see there's a couple of options that look really familiar now. So anything you put inside this WP content box is going to automatically appear on the front end. So let me just get some example text again. And then our lesson materials can be something like, make sure you have some sheet music in front of you. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on update, and then I'm going to go into a topic and do the same thing. So the lesson we were just working under was reading music, so let's go underneath the scales option here. Once again, I'm going to put in some example text in the WP content box. The topic materials, as far as scales go, is going to be practice one set of scales every single day. And click update. And now we have our topic and our lesson filled in with some course content. I'm going to go ahead and add in a couple more pieces of content to a few more lessons and a few more topics, and then we'll move on from there. So now we have all of our topics and our lessons filled in. So what we're going to do now is move into the quizzes section. And setting up a quiz is actually going to feel really familiar now because of the course builder that we were using earlier. The quiz builder is incredibly similar. So what you can do is just create a couple of questions, and this will actually be the title of the question. So let's say something like, did you learn something new? And click that check mark. And once again, you have to drag it over to this right-hand side of the screen, so that way it actually applies to this particular quiz. Go ahead and click on update, and we're going to go to one more step, which is then moving down into our questions options in the LearnDash settings here. Inside of each question, you have a ton of different options, which include a number of different answer types. You can choose multiple choice. Free means that you have no wrong answer. Anything that they select is going to be correct. We're just going to do single choice for now. I'm going to make two answers. The correct one is, yes, I did learn something new, and the incorrect answer is, no, I did not. You do actually have to put something in the WP content box here, so you might just briefly explain what exactly you're looking for out of this answer. We want to make sure this course helped you. And then just click on update. So now that we have our course pretty much configured all the way down to our quizzes and questions, what we're going to do is go into the LearnDash settings and actually configure our PayPal settings and our Stripe settings. The reason why is because, of course, if you remember, we set our course to cost $149, and it won't let somebody take the course without paying if you have set the PayPal and the Stripe settings. If you have not done that, then it will let them take it without having to pay, even though you've set the course to cost money. So you definitely want to come into your PayPal settings, enter any valid PayPal email, and click Use PayPal Sandbox. The same thing is true under your Stripe settings. What you need to do is come in here and click on either test mode or live. I would definitely recommend starting off with test mode. Go to your Stripe dashboard and pull your test secret key and your test publishable key and click on update options. Okay, so now we have our payment options set up, so we're going to go ahead and start setting up the site itself. So under Oxygen, go to templates, and the first one we're going to create is going to be the template that covers all the pages on the site, and it will almost be kind of the baseline template. So we'll call this all pages. For now, I'm just going to go singular and choose pages and click on publish. And then click edit with Oxygen. So what we're going to do here is click on add, go to the design library. Under design sets, I'm going to go to atomic, and then I'm just going to choose one of the pre-built headers here, which all look pretty good. So we'll go to section, go to headers, and let's do something simple like the centered one here. Now you'll notice we have just an example menu on the site for the time being, which is totally fine. Once we create a menu a little bit later on, it's going to automatically update here for us, which is great. I am going to go ahead and swap out the logo real quick to the one that fits our site a little bit better, and then I'm going to take off some of this padding on the section here, on this header row, so that the menu lines up to the bottom of the header row there. The next thing I'm going to do is add in an inner content element. I've got to go back here, under basics, scroll down to inner content, and what I like to do is set the size of the inner content to a minimum height of like 65 VH, which is viewport height. So that way, like for instance on our profile page later on, or a page that doesn't have much content, your footer's not floating in the middle of the screen, it's pushed all the way down to the bottom ideally at a minimum. From here, let's go ahead and click on add, go back to our library, design sets, and atomic. This time we're going to choose a footer. Once again, it's going to be really similar. Footer centered with socials is going to be perfect. That's all we need. And also, once again, I'm going to change out our logo. Just like I said, the menu down here is also going to automatically update whenever we have set it. Change the logo height real quick, maybe more like 75. And then I personally like to set the social icons to use brand colors and to be circles. So that looks totally reasonable. That's all we need to worry about for now. So click on save and then return back to the WordPress admin panel. Now what we're going to do is add another template that's going to apply to all of our LearnDash archives and all of our LearnDash pages themselves. So let's just call this one LearnDash. And then what you're going to do from here is inherit design from other template, choose all pages, which is our template we just created. Under singular, there's quite a few different options here, but if you look, all of these things towards the bottom are going to apply to LearnDash. So we're going to want to set our course, lessons, topics, quizzes, questions, certificates. Transactions is actually going to be underneath your profile, which is when somebody's paid for your course. We're going to go to submit essays, assignments, and groups. And all of those options that you see there, those are all LearnDash pages. So what we're going to want to do then is close this section, click on archive, choose post type, and then you're pretty much going to do the same thing again. It looks a little bit different, but you can see it says courses, lessons, etc. We're going to go through and add every single LearnDash post type to this archive section as well. Quiz, question, certificates, transactions, essays, assignments, and then groups. See, essays and then groups is the last one. So all of these post types and all of these singular items are going to be covered by this particular template, which basically makes it so every single element of LearnDash is rendered using this particular template here. So click publish, and then we're going to do edit with Oxygen once again. So what we're going to do here is just a little bit different from what we did just a moment ago. We're going to go ahead and add in a section and then go back to add and choose inner content. But this time you're going to take the inner content and actually drag it into the section so that it's contained as page width as opposed to full width. And as you can see, because we are previewing the best strings post, which is underneath LearnDash, now that content is rendering just like we want it to. As you can see though, it's a little bit hard to know what lesson or topic you're actually on. So what I'm going to do is add in one more section, and let me move this up to the top here. I'm going to set the background color to something just like a light gray, and I'm going to add in a heading, double click this headline, and choose insert data, and then you're going to choose post title, insert, and now what you have is the actual post that you're on. It displays the title at the top of the page. That makes it just really easy to understand where you are in the course flow, in my opinion. So now what we're going to want to do is go ahead and click on save and then return back to the WordPress admin dashboard. From here, let's go ahead and add in our pages on the site. So we're going to start with our home page, of course, and we'll just call this one home. Click on publish, and then we're going to edit it with Oxygen. The first thing I'm going to do for this particular page is add in a section, and I'm going to go to Advanced, Background, and choose that guitar photo that we were using earlier, which is this one right here. And then I want to set an image overlay color of kind of like a dark black and set the opacity to maybe something like 65%. I'm going to add in a heading here, and we're going to say learn to play guitar like a pro. And our text color we can actually configure by going to the section itself. If you want, you can go to Advanced Typography and choose the text color here, and that way it applies to everything inside of that section. That's something I personally like to do a lot. Let's take this font size up to something like 55. That looks good. And then we'll add in a little bit of sales text here, something like that. This text we're going to increase the size of as well, maybe something like 28, 25. And we want to just center this content here. I also want the section to be a bit bigger, so we'll go to size and spacing and set the height to maybe 350 pixels, 400, something like that. I also want this content to be centered, so I'm going to go to Stack Vertically and choose Center, and then the background image isn't fitting exactly how I want it to, so go to Advanced, Background, and then you're probably familiar with options like background position center center or center left, something to that effect. And what you can do is achieve that same result by switching both of these options to percentage, and you can go left 50 and top 50%. And that basically makes the photo in the center position, which makes it super easy. From here, what I'm going to do is go ahead and add in, once again, the atomic design set, and we're just going to add in a standard kind of home page, general content page. Go to Pages, and then let's see, it is this one right here, general content number 2, kind of fill out our site really nicely. And what I want to do is change the colors of these buttons and these little icons here to match the blue that's in our logo up there. That blue is this royal blue here. So what I'm going to do is click on this element and change the color. What I can do is paste in that hex color and click this global option, and then I'm going to call this royal blue. And now we have our own global color set, which is royal blue. Also, what I want to do is change this button color to match as well, so I'm going to select it. I'm going to change to the atomic primary button class, and as my background color, I'm going to switch it to my global blue that we just created. Same thing is true over here. Going to switch to atomic outline button. The text color, we'll just do our global blue, and then under borders, let's do global blue as well. So now they all match. That looks nice. Just click on Save, and then let's go ahead and return to the WordPress admin dashboard. So we're really only going to need to make 2 more pages, and both of these are going to be very straightforward. The next one we're going to do is the profile page, which is the one that allows users to modify their account, change their password, see what they've subscribed to, how much time left they have on a course, for instance. So we're just going to call this page Profile. And then in the WP content box here, all we have to do is click on this LearnDash shortcodes button. The screen that appears here gives you a ton of different LearnDash shortcodes, but the one we're concerned with is Profile. You don't need to change any options here. Just click on Insert Shortcode, but you do need to change the page from rendering as all pages to LearnDash. And the reason why is the LearnDash one, if you recall, is set to section width as opposed to full width like the all pages template is. So change this to LearnDash, click on Publish, and your profile page is done. We're going to go ahead and create our contact page now. What we're going to do first is contact form 7 gives you the shortcode for your form really easily. So let's copy and paste that. And we're going to add a new page, which is just going to be our contact page. Once again, we're going to paste in that shortcode right here. And then we're going to change our page to be restrained by the section width as opposed to full width. Click on Publish, and your contact page is now done as well. From here, let's go ahead and create our menu. So we're going to go to Appearance and Menus. This menu we're just going to call Main Menu. Click on Create, and then let's go ahead and add in the pages that we want. Add to Menu. As you can see, this menu is very basic, but it does get the job done. One thing that we're missing is how would somebody get to the course from the main menu? All you have to do is click on Screen Options up here at the top, and then you can see courses, lessons, topics, quizzes are all available as menu items without having to create them as custom links. So I'm going to go ahead and add in our course, Learn to Play Guitar Like the Pros, and because that name is so long, I'm going to switch this to something like Start Course. What you can also do is something that I like to do just from a usability standpoint is nest that same link more or less underneath the menu so that it has a drop down. That way people aren't confused as, start course. They might think, well, what course am I starting? Now that's there for them to easily be able to see. Go ahead and click Save. And then what we're going to do is go to Settings and Reading and set our home page to the page we just created called Home. Click on Save. And then now let's go ahead and take a look at our site on the front end. So as you can see, our site is Learn to Play Guitar Like a Pro. We have our menu set up, and as I told you, it does automatically update for you, not only in the header, but also in the footer down here at the very bottom. Then let's go ahead and click on Start Course, and what you'll see is all of the course content that we configured earlier is there. All of our lessons with all of our topics underneath them are ready and applicable. One thing you'll notice though is that because I am logged in as an admin, it doesn't ask me to pay, so that's one thing that you'll have to keep in mind. What we're going to need to do is switch to an incognito window so that way I can show you what it looks like with somebody who's not paid yet or is not registered for the course, because there's this nice big button that says Buy Course. So let's go ahead and do that. Once again, for somebody that's not logged in and has not yet paid for this particular course, this is what it looks like. It has this nice big green Take This Course button, and if you click on it, you'll see there's two options, use PayPal and use a credit card. Once again, like I told you guys earlier, this Take This Course button will not appear if you haven't set the PayPal and the Stripe options in your admin dashboard, and what that will do is allow somebody that hasn't paid to be able to take the whole course. So make sure that you have that set up, even just put it in the test mode, which is the way we have Stripe set up at the moment. So I'm going to click Use a Credit Card. This nice little pop-up appears, and this email that the person types in automatically registers on your site. So this becomes their username and their email for your site. So let's just do something like jonathan@gmail.com. The credit card number is going to be, for Stripe, the test credit card is just 42 all the way down, just like that. Any expiration date in the future will work, and then any CVC code will work as well. Click on Pay, and you'll see that it's going to automatically accept that, and then you get this nice little green banner that says you have paid for this course. Everything is now unlocked. The transaction was successful. Check your email and log in to access the course. What that email contains is a link to set your password, and it also takes you to your profile page. In order to show you the profile page, I actually need to switch back to the front end over here, so let me click on Profile. So this is what the profile page looks like to someone after they've clicked that link in the email to set up their password. They can click on Edit Profile if they need to change their password or their email. They can also see their registered courses and how much progress they've made in each one. If you have a lesson or a topic that's in progress, of course this progress bar here shows you, but there's also a way to click into each individual lesson and topic which appears here. As you can see, in a very short period of time, not only did we design the site from the ground up, but we also built a fully functioning learning management system using LearnDash, and it also requires that someone pay ahead of time before they can take or access the course content. Again, as I mentioned, this site is built using the Oxygen Builder. If you're not familiar with that, you can find a link in the description below, and also this site uses the LearnDash LMS plugin. Definitely check that out as well, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys in a future video. Thanks so much for watching.